Now, the Anti-Graft Agency, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says 3 state governors are under its prying eyes over moves to launder cash through the payment of salary to workers. Before you lose your mind, be informed that the EFCC chairman, Abdul Rashid Bawa, revealed that 2 of the 3 state chief executives are from the north, while the 3rd is a southern helmsman. Bawa informs that credible intelligence gathered by his commission indicates that hard cash is stashed in various houses, and the rest are attempting to pay monthly salary in cash. But elsewhere, Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State has described the proposed CBN plan to redesign the national currency as a political gambit. He specifically mentioned the APC-led government as the arrowhead of the exercise, and he says it's aimed at swaying voters in the forthcoming elections. You agree with that?
Well, that's Obaseki's opinion, but I'm much more concerned about the
first part of the
utterances from the EFCC boss. You say, yep, according to him, credible intelligence about certain governors who want to do this or that. I think you should have kept that to yourself, or you you move into action. And I just want to see the results, not telling us that...
Are you taking into account the immunity clause?
No, the immunity clause, you said so governor wants to Nobody's saying you should arrest the governors.
Okay. But you can make moves to...
You said it's cashed, so. Why can't you go there? Are you saying those cash, enjoy immunity clause as well? You get my point? With your so-called credible intel, you cannot act. You don't need to tell me as a credible, anti-graft organization. That's not the best way to run it.
Yeah.
Take action. The one you are not going to take action, watch, then you swing into action.
Yeah.
Don't tell me so is 2 in the north, 4 in the... No, that's not what I need. I need you to work, because that's why you are being paid. Yeah. They have cash stashed in and you are in fact, it's so good for you, that they want to be paying salaries in cash. You get me? These are opportunities for you.
Are you suggesting he should have gone one step further to name them?
Not just name them. Go to those places where the money is stashed.
Okay, act.
And because the Constitution does not give any immunity on such cases, you are not arresting the governor. Nobody can arrest any governor or deputy governor. You get my point? But if a governor stashes
some money
billions or trillions of money anywhere, you have the power to go there.
Arrest the cash.
Arrest the cash. And make noise about it, then let him discuss. Where did you get it?
Yeah.
You've committed no law, no fraud.
So many Nigerians think we back too much, we don't bite.
It's obvious.
Really?
It is obvious. Because like Adekunle said, if you are sure that you have all of this information,
go the whole hog.
Why tell us? We should be hearing that, okay, you have taken action and this is what is going on.
So we have seized X.
You understand?
Yeah.
That is the information we crave, not you coming to tell us, I know that Adekunle has done this. What do I know? I don't have facts. Because if you do, you would swing into action.
Go the whole hog.
So it's sometimes,
But are you in any way likely to link this development to the change in redesigning the Naira?
It's obvious.
That's what he said.
It's obvious. That is what he said.
He linked this idea.
There's a mad rush to dispose of all of this.
Have you seen some viral videos?
Yes.
Where mutilated Naira notes are unearthed
I saw one and I couldn't just believe my eyes.
Come on, but does any of you remember that the first time, when President Buhari first came as a head of state in 1984?
Yes.
Remember the 53 suitcases?
Yes.
Came as a result of changing the colors of the Naira notes. So we are back there.
I mean, we have not changed our color. We are still, our skin is still there.
To me, are we back there? I don't think so. That time it was swift, and you caught people unawares. This time around, you had to announce weeks and months ahead. You give people the room. I mean, all these criminals, some of them we call leaders. You get my point?
But there's no way you could have altered the Naira without causing a schism.
Causing it. As when it was done that time, you cannot do the same now, Abi. But what would be the benefit now when you are...
Yusuf, sorry, Taiwo is joining us from London. Taiwo, good evening to you. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Well done for the good job.
How are you?
Mr. Adekunle and Auntie.
Good
I'm
evening.
fine, thank you, sir. I'd like to comment on Mr. Wike employing 200,000 people.
Yeah.
My question to him is, are all the companies in that state working optimally? I would have expected him, the money he wants to pay to those people for just 6 months, if he had used that money to get all the derelict companies, hospitals, schools, all parastatals, if he had used that money to get them running, those 200,000 people, obviously when the new government comes in, they'll probably be out of jobs. But this parastatal that is going to rebuild, he should have placed those people there. That way they will have permanent jobs that will sustain their family for God knows how long. But this is just a short time, it's not even a solution, it's a problem. Because just like Mr. Adekunle said earlier on, or Auntie said earlier on, once those people lose this job, it's going to be a problem because they've tasted sweet living. So it's either they go into...
But thank you. Gentleman and lady, I'm reminded in this connection of Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. You remember law number 1? Oga na oga. No measure body with them.
Yes, but in...
you know law number 2?
I know that...
If you are in doubt,
go back to number 1.
number 1.
Law number 1. But this is democracy.
Okay.
So whatever Wike does in Rivers State, it is within our
purview
to interrogate.
Wike is a lawyer.
Because,
Wike is a lawyer.
No,
Wike
is using the public fund, and the public have a right to discuss
query,
it.
yes.
Whether they like it or not, they have a right
all right,
to say something about it.
I only teased you. Let's talk about the EFCC. What's on the card now? So new currencies are going to come, and so the old ones are being messed around and thrown around. Let's consider what the Edo State governor is saying. The APC is throwing this as something to sway the people ahead of 2023.
But I don't want to agree with him, because if you look at the currency, we're supposed to change the face of the currency every 8 years. This was done.
So it is not wrong to change the...
Exactly.
The American dollar has been changed.
So, he has his own opinion and he has his reason for having such an opinion. But, for me, if you don't have any skeleton in your cupboard, why bother? Only the guilty should be afraid at this time. Because we are already running a partial cashless economy. You have your card, your debit card, you go to the ATM machine, all of all that. So it's not as if, ordinarily, the ordinary man does not have all of this bulk, money kept somewhere, whether underneath the ground or somewhere in his wardrobe or something like that. So if you are guilty, then you should come out and say that.
Of course, I can't forget that Abdul Rashid Bawa is saying 2 governors in the north, 1 in the south, have been fingered as planning to do Rohi, as they say?
To me, if I'm going to analyze, a textual analysis or discourse analysis of that, you're only helping these so-called governors.
They are not so-called. They are elected.
So-called, because the way you put them.
Okay, you mean the governor's finger. Okay.
You are just, I know you are doing this, so you are indirectly telling them to clean up their mess. That's not how to run an anti-graft agency. That's the point I was trying to make.
Okay, so you'd rather caught them in the act.
We need his actions, not his utterances.
Yeah.
You get my point? The same EFCC, we had elections recently. You see EFCC going to, want to arrest, and they were arresting ordinary folks, those hungry, poor guys who collect money to vote. When the big parties were doing their presidential primaries, they were carrying dollars in bags and everything. Was EFCC dead at that time? We need EFCC that can act, not talk.
I think EFCC it depends on the boss now. Maybe they have different colors. In the days of Mago, they would go, effect an arrest, go to court. Then the judge will strike out the case. Mess everything up because of the lack of
diligence.
You understand? So I think but
makes you want to clamor for a Nuhu Ribadu?
Because, at least in his time, we saw, there were actions and people were punished.
Sorry, Ibianaba, we have the last but not the least caller. Emmanuel is reaching us from Warri. Emmanuel, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
All right, go on.
I enjoy your program.
Thank you, sir.
We'll remember that. Thank you.
People don't understand the man. He just buy 200 votes. Because those votes we vote, those people we vote for him, we vote for PDP candidates in Rivers State. So he just bought the vote.
Did you say 200? 200,000?
That is just how I look at it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well.
And that's another dimension, which to me is valid. And in leadership, you should be thinking beyond now, because it's about the people.
Let's take this EFCC story to a logical conclusion. So how do you take it home now? From the top. Yeah.
The EFCC man should rejig the operations of EFCC. We haven't seen actions. We have been seeing utterances. Sometimes that make me to wonder that, it's not about age. When we talk about leadership, you have a young man, vibrant, educated, experienced. But the way you are running the EFCC, I haven't seen the Nuru Ribadu era of action-packed leadership. You get my point?
Palpable tension.
That is it. And the EFCC of Nuru Ribadu, we haven't seen anybody replicate something similar.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm sorry.
Adekule, the late British Prime Minister, the Iron Lady, said, if you want anything said, ask a man. If you want anything done, ask a woman. So, do we need a woman at the EFCC?
We've had a woman here
before.
We've had a
woman before.
Okay.
We have had
Waziri.
Yes. Yeah. And what was her tenure? So it's not about gender.
For me,
it's not about the gender.
If we are going to bring her, to suppose her tenure to these ones we are having, I think she did better.
But this one is still young on the throne anyway. He's still young in office.
Make him wait until he's old.
He still has time to do better.
But what you said is very key. Act. Give us a lot less of this theatrics.
We don't want his utterances anymore. We want his actions.
Ibn quickly, how do you bury it?
We want action. We are tired of talk, and talk. Begin to act. And act with facts. Because you cannot bring your facts to the media. Take your facts to the courts.
Yeah.
That is it.
All right. We must go. That's what the backroom boys are telling me. So let the debate continue. But don't forget, EFCC, we think you can do more than you're doing.